We're here for you tonight with an update on Dopsy, Potter Park Zoo's black rhino who suffered a serious health scare this week. It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. Dopsy has been under 24/7 care since Tuesday by the zoo's animal care team. 6 News reporter Kylie Shapansky spoke with the Potter Park Zoo's head veterinarian. She's here for you now with what they had to say about Dopsy's current condition.
The veterinary team is all hands on deck to treat their largest animal here at Potter Park Zoo. The head veterinarian here says she has a gastric impaction, which is common for the species group that she's in. During a procedure on Dopsy, there are 45 to 50 people in the room helping in some way. That includes animal care staff, veterinarians from other Midwest zoos, and animal specialists from the MSU Vet School. It even includes maintenance people.
From the outside, it looks a little bit chaotic, but we have a coordinated process. I'm overseeing it, but I have other veterinarians who help me and I can delegate tasks to. So, and we just are trying to get as much done in as short a period of time as possible so she doesn't have to stay anesthetized as long.
That's because keeping her sedated, the biggest animal at the zoo, can lead to complications.
In a 1,200 kilogram animal, she decides what she wants to do. So it's a little opportunistic. We have to sort of come up with creative ways. So if she decides to pull out her IV fluids, she's not going to have any complications from that. So we have to come up with different strategies with pulleys and things like that to be able to get the fluids to us and refill the fluids.
On Thursday, the team performed an upper and lower GI endoscopy, which means they had to get long tubes through her mouth while she was sedated.
To open their mouth, to place a tube to protect their airway, to place an endotracheal tube, I have to use a car jack to open her mouth, and then we have to use a very large tube passed into her windpipe and then pass a tube over that. Just moving her, we have about 20 people working together to move her a few feet so then we can put pads underneath of her. Dr.
Eustace says the team is now crossing their fingers and hoping they find the reason why she's sick. He also hopes that Dopsy responds to IV treatment and that they're able to give her a few days off from any procedures and do a recheck exam sometime next week. Reporting in Lansing, I'm Kylie Shapansky, 6 News.
In Lansing, the Michigan Bitcoin Trade Council held its Paint Lansing Orange rally earlier today at the Capitol. The celebration of Bitcoin featured speeches, local vendors, who of course took payments in Bitcoin, along with a community of enthusiasts.
It's been a really fun celebration for both communities and small businesses, politicians to gather together in one place. So this event today was about uniting Bitcoiners, educating lawmakers, and bringing visibility within the capital of Lansing. It's really important that finance is something that is permissionless and accessible to anybody who needs a way to transact.
Organizers say this event is a powerful call to make Michigan a leader in liberty and progress. The U.S. says it will now take steps to get more aid into Gaza. It comes as fractures form in the U.S.-Israeli relationship over the humanitarian crisis there. Washington Bureau correspondent Maddie Beertemple is here for you now with the latest on the growing tensions.
U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Thursday as he pushes for a ceasefire deal and Hamas to release hostages. The White House says they also talked about getting more food to Gaza.
President Trump is a humanitarian with a big heart.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Witkoff and Ambassador Mike Huckabee will go to Gaza Friday to inspect distribution sites, meet with Gazans, and devise a plan to deliver more food.
The Special Envoy and the Ambassador will brief the President immediately after their visit to approve a final plan for food and aid distribution into the region.
International airdrops of food have resumed, but some Democrats and aid groups say it's not enough.
The World Food Program reports that hunger in Gaza has reached, quote, astonishing levels of desperation.
Wednesday night, the Senate voted against a resolution to block weapons sales to Israel. Even though it failed, a record number of Democrats, 27, voted for it.
It is not about Hamas and it's not about Israel. It is about the United States of America and whether we will continue to be complicit.
Republicans say Hamas is responsible for the dire situation Gaza is in.
This could end in a moment. Hamas could release the hostages, but until this happens, we can't let up on these terrorists who have committed the atrocities against Israel.
Hamas still holds 50 hostages, including about 20 believed to be alive. In Washington, I'm Maddie Biertemple.
And earlier this week, President Trump broke with Netanyahu, disagreeing with the prime minister's assessment that there is no starvation happening in Gaza. Also in Washington, the CDC says U.S. kindergarten vaccination rates inched down again last year, and the number of children with exemptions rose to an all-time high to 4.1%, up from 3.3% the year before. It's the third record-breaking year in a row for the exemption rate. This week marks 50 years since the disappearance of former Teamsters president Jimmy Hoffa. He was last seen outside a Michigan restaurant in 1975, where he was to meet three men, one of whom was a reputed mafia figure. Hoffa's car was found in the parking lot of the restaurant the next day, but the three men all denied having met with him. Hoffa was president of the powerful International Brotherhood of Teamsters Union from 1957 to 1971. He was widely known to have been involved with organized crime and was sentenced to prison for mail fraud and jury tampering in 1967. President Nixon commuted the 13-year sentence in 1971.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
I was out at the Ingham County Fair a couple times this week. One, when the heat and humidity was really on, that was extremely hot. Today, though, delightful outside with low humidity and comfortable temperatures. And for tomorrow, it's much the same. Temps will climb into the mid-70s in the afternoon. By the evening hours, if you're a person that gets a little chilly in the 50s, it may be long sleeve weather, perhaps late tomorrow evening. Overall, though, looks really good out there, minus some of that wildfire smoke that'll still be in the area. In fact, there is an air quality alert that remains in effect for tomorrow and Saturday as well for all of mid-Michigan as we can continue to see that funnel in, and it will be a problem for the next few days. A look at the current air quality index. We're in the red, which means that is generally unhealthy. So for all categories of people. For those who are sensitive, it'll be particularly noticeable because it's fairly thick out there at times, and as I said, will continue to be a problem tomorrow as well. Our satellite radar tonight, other than that smoke in the atmosphere, not a whole lot happening. Pretty quiet out there. High pressure firmly in control of our weather. Skyview Network, McLaren Cam, we're down to 67 degrees since midnight, 807 inch, but all total, most locations last night picked up between half an inch and an inch and a half of rainfall. In Grand Ledge, where we got close to an inch total over the past 2 days, 700s today, we're down to 66 degrees, humidity at 78%. Tonight in Jackson, the current temperature 62 degrees, winds fairly light, humidity high, of course, 3,300ths of an inch of rainfall since midnight, wind gusts around 20-25 miles per hour. Hillsdale, current conditions down to 60 degrees currently with 4/10 of an inch precipitation, wind gusts up to 21 miles per hour. Precision cast tonight through tomorrow morning, quiet weather, high pressure in control, bit of a cool start with lows in the lower 50s. That high is just slowly making its way to the east, so it's still pushing in cool air and wildfire smoke for tomorrow, unfortunately. As we move into Friday night and Saturday morning, the high is getting ever so close to the region. Our winds become fairly light, and with it basically overhead by Saturday morning, that will allow temperatures to fall into the low 50s and perhaps even upper 40s. By Saturday evening, it continues to move east. Once it gets to our east, we'll start pushing some smoke out of the region, and we'll begin to slowly warm things up. Temperatures tonight are sitting in the mid-60s for the most part, although the airport observation in Hillsdale is down to 59 degrees. Low temperatures tonight on average around 53, mostly clear and cool tonight. Tomorrow's forecast, so it'll feel like a little taste of fall once again with highs near 76 degrees and very low humidity, below average for tomorrow and very close to average as we head into Saturday at 80, 82 degrees on Sunday, low to mid-80s with some showers and storms in the forecast Tuesday and Wednesday. And then it still looks hot next weekend, but we had to stick a chance of a possible shower or storm next Saturday. Still a long ways away, so hopefully we can remove that from the weekend forecast.
Yeah, let's hope. I'm really loving the low temperatures. That's gonna be nice.
I mean, it's kind of like bonfire weather, you know.
Yeah.
Not too hot out there at night.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it too. All right, we appreciate it. Well, today is day 2 of the NTSB hearings into the deadly mid-air collision in January between an Army helicopter and an American Airlines flight near D.C.'s Reagan National Airport. Hear what witnesses had to say after the break. So stay right there. 6 News at 11. We'll be right back.